privilege, honestly, to have Nithya Shanti with us for Need of the Hour. Nithya, this is a series that we run on field experts, thought leaders, doctors, just people who come and share their experience, share their brilliance, share their knowledge with everybody. And so CII IWN, we are very, very privileged and pleased to have you on our platform today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Bhavna. Good to be here.
Yeah, and today this conversation is going to be a little bit different to our normal format. We've requested Nithya to share some pearls of wisdom as a spiritual teacher, as a guide, as a friend, somebody we all look up to, Nithya. So if you can share with us how, during this entire pandemic, this COVID situation, how do we access our inner resilience? Over to you, Nithya.
Thank you, Bhavna. Welcome, everybody. And good to be here. I'm coming in from Pune. Wonder how many of you here are from Pune. I think most of you are in Delhi, I imagine. Delhi NCR. And today's session, let it be an experiential session. Let it not just be about ideas. Let it also create a shift in your consciousness. For a shift to happen in our consciousness, we have to not just think things. It has to touch our hearts at some level. There's a lovely saying, people don't care what you know until they know that you care. I remember after teaching many years, I would sometimes meet people at the airport or some other place. Yeah, Nithya, we attended your session a year back, 2 years back, 5 years back. And I'd ask them what they remembered. And typically they remembered a story or they remembered something that touched their heart. So I can share many things. Chances are you'd forget most of them. But the things that touch your heart are the ones that tend to stay with you. That's really important. So if you want to create a change in your behavior, which is your hands, between the head and the hand is the matter of the heart. There's a beautiful saying that the longest journey in the world is a sacred pilgrimage from the head to the heart. So it's head to heart and heart to being. So think it till you feel it and feel it till you become it. That's the basic formula. So in today's session, it's about accessing inner strength, inner resilience. And I want to offer you some ways of looking at this that will maybe challenge some of the ways you normally see yourself. And we'll see how that affects your experience of life itself as you go through it. Take a minute to just tune in. And by tune in, I mean access the vertical dimension, which is...
Nithya, can we just tell everybody, turn your phones off, because this is going to be an experiential session. Just for everybody to get the best out of it, just close your doors and turn your phones off.
Good idea. Good idea.
Be present with Nithya during this.
It's quite a short session, yeah. So before you know it, it'll be done. So I want you to tune in as much as you can, because the moment you're distracting yourself with more than one thing, not distracting, but you have more than one thing in your attention field, chances are you can't go deep into any one of them. So for this session, it'll be best if you can. Of course, if you're looking at this on your phone, you can't turn it off, but you can certainly silence it, or you can definitely go to a place in your room or your home, which is a little bit less distracting. So settle in, and I want you to just get present, which means feel what it feels like to be you right now. Feel the weight of your body, wherever you're standing or sitting. Feel your breath. I just want you to have a sense that you belong here. That every atom is in the right place. Nothing is out of place except in your imagination. And I'm going to give you a simple statement, which I want you to repeat slowly in your heart and mind. Feel the power of the statement. Go beyond the words and touch its essence. The statement is, I am the sky. Everything else is weather. I am the sky. Everything else is weather. I am the sky. Everything else is weather. Just feel the power of that statement. I am the sky, everything else is weather. Here's another one. I am the screen on which this entire universe is projected. I am the screen on which this entire universe is projected. I am the screen on which everything is projected. I am the stillness and silence underlying everything. I am the stillness and silence underlying everything. I am the stillness. I am the silence underlying everything. And now I'm going to take 4 very short phrases. Notice the impact of these 4 phrases on you. They represent 4 levels of consciousness. First level of consciousness. To me. To me. To me means life happens to me. What happens when you hear that life happens to me? Second level of consciousness. By me. Life happens by me. Life happens by me. I make it happen. Third level of consciousness. Life happens through me. Through me. What happens to you when you hear the phrase through me? And finally, life happens as me. As me. Life happens to me. Life happens by me. Life happens through me. Life happens as me. The first level of consciousness is called victim consciousness. Life happens to me. So things are happening in the world. Things are happening at every level, economic level, business level, government level, personal level, family level, health level. Life happens to me. That's one way of going through life. It's internally consistent. If you think like that, you will experience life like that. In the Indian tradition, this is called tamasic. Because when you live like this, life is very heavy, very hard, a lot of sharp edges. You're very vulnerable. You can get hurt because anytime anything can happen. You are a victim. Notice what that tastes like, looks like, feels like. And we've all been there. So we know what that's like. Next level of consciousness, life happens by me. This is the level of an achiever, a creator, empowered person. By me means I get clear about what I want. I have goals. I work towards them. I achieve them. Most of the time I achieve them. By me. This is called Rajasic. Achiever, creator. Second level of consciousness. The idea is, as I achieve goal after goal, I get more and more accomplished, more and more empowered. Life happens by me. So I'm not just a victim. I find the possibility in every problem. I focus on the positive. I focus on what can happen. I imagine most of you on this call are at least at the second level. Not that we don't have our moments at the first level, but chances are if you're part of CII IWN, you're at least level 2. Level 3 is life happens through me. This is called Sattvic. This is called channel. Now it's no longer about you accomplishing anything. You are now the medium. You are now the madhyam. You are now the means through which amazing things can happen in the world. And yes, you can achieve things as well, but it's no longer about the achievement necessarily. It's about what happens for the benefit of all, how you grow and how others grow. So it's less about what I achieve. It's more about what it's like. What does it feel like? So begin with end in mind. Instead of waiting for it to happen and then feeling peaceful, joyful, accomplished. The process is as important. You choose to feel joyful, peaceful, accomplished, even in the process. Life happens through me. This is called Sattvic. Notice what it feels like to be a channel of blessings. I like to start my morning by saying, may I be a channel of blessings for someone today. May I be a channel of blessings for someone today. May I be a channel of blessings in the world. The shortest prayer I know is 2 words. I would even say it's one of the most powerful prayers I know. It's 2 words. With a lot of sincerity in your heart, preferably under the night sky, you say 2 words. Use me. Use me. So it's no longer about what can I get. It's more about what can I give? How can I show up? I was seeing a TV show where this detective is interviewing a lady who's just been assaulted. And after the interview is conducted, they're actually sitting in a car, the cop's car. And the lady sees something stuck on the dashboard. And there's just 2 words. It says, send me. I'm here, send me. 4 words, send me. I'm here, send me. So she says, what does the sticker say? I'm here, send me. What does it mean? The detective says, well, I'm Christian, and we believe that God wants to help people, but can't do it directly. So needs emissaries, needs messengers, needs angels to go and do it. And sometimes things are happening and God is wondering, who should I send? Who should I send? So my hands are always up. I'm here, send me. I'm here, send me. I love that little clip from that serial. I'm here, send me. This is 3rd level of consciousness. Through me, life happens through me. In every situation, you can operate from the 1st level of consciousness. Life happens to me, I'm a victim. Life happens by me, I'm a creator, I'm an achiever, Rajasic. Life happens through me, Sattvic. And then the 4th level of consciousness, life happens as me. The 1st level is a level of seeing the world as stiff. Everything is matter, everything is fixed, everything is hard, everything is dreary, and every smallest thing is an effort. 2nd level of consciousness, everything is seen as energy. You can set intentions, things start moving. Vocalize, visualize, emotionalize, and you actualize. You start tapping into the power of intention, power of manifestation. But beyond a point, after all your manifestation, you still wonder, do I even know what to manifest? I know I can get it, but it's still not quenching my thirst. All this getting. I've achieved so much in business, in personal life. Still thirsty. So that's when a certain humility comes. Do I even know what I want? That's when you like this saying by Harivansh Rai Bachchan, Man chahi ho to acha, na ho to aur bhi acha. So if I don't get what I want, that's brilliant. If I get what I want, that's good. If I don't get what I want, that's brilliant. Why? Because there's a larger intelligence that's operating. So you come to surrender. Level 3 is surrender. By me. Through me, rather. And at the level of third level, everything is seen as light. First level, everything is matter. Second level, everything is energy. Third level, everything is light. Every particle of the universe is photo receptive and phototransmittive. It sends and receives light simultaneously. In the very act of giving, you are replenished. In the very act of loving, you feel the love. Every time I help someone, in that moment, I have just entered a helpful universe. The physics of this universe mean that I have a deep faith that whenever I need help, it will be available to me. Because that's the universe I'm creating. And the fourth level is the level of consciousness, nirgun, beyond the gunas. What are the gunas? Tamasic, rajasic, sattvic. These are the 3 gunas. Behind every problem, to level 1, is a possibility, to level 2. Behind every possibility is pure joy, to level 3. Behind the joy is the present moment. This is where you become like the sky. Everything else is better. This is where you become like the screen that on which everything is projected. This is where you tap into that underlying silence and stillness that is behind and beyond everything. Nirgun, consciousness, as me. So right now, it may appear that I'm addressing CII and other people who joined today. But wisdom says, no, just talking to myself, which is actually quite real. I'm sitting in this room just talking to myself. I'm actually only talking to myself. There is no other. There is nobody here to enlighten. This outer world is just my unconscious mind. This outer world is just me pushed out. And whatever's out of alignment in the so-called outer world is an opportunity for me to love and forgive to death. Love and forgive to death. There's a beautiful practice from Hawaii which says, take full responsibility for your experience, not 99%, 100%. So this Ho'oponopono practice from Hawaii says, whatever's happening in the world is my responsibility. So if pandemic is happening, it's my responsibility. Remember, we didn't say fault, we said responsibility. It's not my fault that it's happening. It is my responsibility that it's happening. What does responsibility mean? I have a response ability. I have an ability to respond. I can respond as it's happening to me, it's happening by me, it's happening through me, or it's happening as me. And the quality of my response will determine the quality of my experience, not the quality of the events of my life. Events plus responses lead to outcomes. So I focus on the response ability, my ability to respond. And as I operate from the third and fourth level, especially, happy for a good reason, happy for no reason. First level is no happiness. Second level is happy when something happens, if something happens. Third level is happy for a good reason. Fourth level is happy for no reason. How do you access inner strength? No matter what's happening in your life, you can look at what's wrong, that's a problem. You can look at what's possible, that's a possibility. You can look at the underlying potential that wants to come out. That is the joy or the peace inherent in that moment. What's there to love in this? What's there to let go in this? What's there to learn and love and let go and laugh about this? That's sattvic. And finally, nirgun. I'm only speaking to myself. Consciousness experiencing itself. And actually, not even that. That's the last story. So in my framework of this world, it's all happening. Life is not interested in your comfort. Life is interested in your growth and your awakening, in your self-actualization and your self-realization. The first three steps are actualization, from victim to empowered to channel, from victim to creator, to being a channel of blessings. And the fourth one is self-realization, waking up from the dream of who you thought you were, waking up from the dream of this and that. And the combination of these two, self-actualization and self-realization, embodiment and enlightenment, empowerment and enlightenment, the combination of these two, this is the ultimate inner strength. And you are not newbies here. You've all lived enough life to have tasted all these four levels of consciousness. You don't have to be a long time meditator for this. You know what I'm talking about. You know what it feels like life is happening to me. You know what it feels like life is happening by me. Life is happening through me. And life is happening as me. And now you have to ask yourself, just like you decide, which part of town do I want to live? Which kind of job do I want to have? What kind of clothes do I want to wear? What kind of diet do I want to have? You decide those things. You can also decide, which of these four levels of consciousness do I want to abide in? And start moving up. Start moving up. Transcend and include. We don't transcend and exclude. I don't judge people who are victims. I don't judge people who have goals. I don't judge people who are believing that they're channels of blessings. Transcend and include. I am all of that. I am all of that. I am that. Tattvam asi. I am that. I am that. Do your best in dharma. Leave the rest to karma. The wheel will turn its round. Infinite peace will be found. Do your best in dharma. What is dharma? Dharma is exactly this, being aware of your level of consciousness. The very act of awareness starts shifting it. To be aware you're being a victim moves you into creator mode. To being aware that you're a creator moves you into channel mode, surrender mode. Aware that you're a channel moves you into pure consciousness, pure being mode. Do your best in dharma, leave the rest to karma. Whatever potency your actions have, they will express themselves. Nothing has to be done. The seeds will automatically blossom. We keep doing our best. And the more you operate from a nirgunavastha, nirgun state, which is, it's just me. It's like when my right hand scratches my left hand. There is neither positive karma nor negative karma. It's so simple. The hand was scratchy, it scratched it. It did not do my left hand a favor. It doesn't expect a return gift from my left hand. So when you operate from this level, you stop having any karmic potencies. It's simply life expressing itself. There is neither baggage, nor burden, nor fear, nor hesitation. There is pure spontaneity. There is life experiencing life. So when we operate from life is happening to me, we create heavy karma. And we operate from life is happening by me, we create medium karma. When we operate from life is happening through me, we create very light and soft and fluffy karma. And then life is happening to itself, life is happening as me. There is no karma. The karma has become dharma. And true peace will be found, infinite peace will be found. It's your true nature. The heights by great ones reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight. They, while their companions slept, were toiling upward through the night. The heights by great ones reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight. They, while their companions slept, were toiling upward through the night. This is the most important duty in this world. If there is a duty, this is the duty. Lift yourself up from the mud and blossom into the lotus that you're meant to be. No mud, no lotus. All that's happening in this world is not an accident. It is precisely designed for your awakening. It's not a random event. It may look like it, it's not. All the upheavals, all the news, all the setbacks, all the losses, all the deaths, it's all good medicine, because life is not interested in your comfort. Life is interested in your full blossoming, full awakening, full actualization, and full realization. You're not a victim here. You're not an arbitrary person here. And life is not vindictive. It's to be corrective. It is correcting the errors in your map of who you think you are and what you think life is. And it'll continue to be painful as long as you have those glitches in your operating system. And if you adopt a beautiful mantra, 3-word mantra, bring it on. The moment you adopt the 3-word mantra, bring it on. And all day long, bring it on, bring it on, bring it on. Man chahi ho to acha, na ho to aur bhi acha. You will access infinite inner strength, inner clarity, inner peace. And you will be a powerful channel of blessings in the world, for the world, as the world. And so it is. And so it is. And so it is. Tathastu.
And so it is, Nithya. Wow. Nithya, you are magic. You know, I had my eyes closed throughout, and I sincerely mean that you are magic. You took us away from our own realities for this period, and helped us find that sense of space within ourselves. And I think by going through the 4 levels, that was wonderful, because that's where the shift will occur. When we see the states and we see that, I think, and I love what you said about use me, you know, bring it on. We run from not so nice experiences, always running towards those good experiences. And again, it's down to our judgment, isn't it? If our judgment was that, I mean, just change the word, that the bad is the good and the good is the bad, it would cease to exist, right? Absolutely in gratitude to you, Nithya. Thank
Beautiful.
you for being
Thank you, Bhavna.
with us. And Nithya, I had promised people that if they had questions,
Why not? Let's take some
so
questions.
I know we didn't actually, I don't know if we actually opened the floor, but anyway, if anybody has any questions right now, Nithya, we are open, and Nithya is here for another 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So if you have any questions, you can feel free to jot them down.
And also I want to appreciate Bhavna. Most people don't know, because she doesn't look it, but she has fever. So I was teasing her that being a hot person, she's come on the show. And so she's an example of someone who is, despite being in physical discomfort, is here and doing what she needs to do. Bring it on. Right? What kind of meditation can we do on a daily basis?
And how do
It's like asking, it's like asking what kind of food should I eat on a daily basis? I don't think, I'm actually less interested in the kind of meditation. I'm actually more interested in the principles of what you do, because we all have different affinities. For some of you, it might be, which is why I actually created a 6-month course with all my favorite kinds of meditation and learnings around meditations. A quick start for you would be a free resource on YouTube. Just search for my name, Nithya Shanti, and search for the word intensity. I put up 50 meditations starting with the word intensity on YouTube some years back, and a lot of people have enjoyed that. That could be a good start, because I believe try different things and see what works for you, instead of trying to give you, because just because it works for me doesn't mean it'll work for you. I may have a certain meditation that works for me. I can't assume that'll be the best for you. So I recommend, if you haven't tried before, try a few different kinds of meditation. I also have a 6-month meditation course. You can we can find a way to share a link for that with Bhavna. And
Nithya actually has amazing resources. He's also on SoundCloud, and of course his YouTube channel. He's
SoundCloud.
I've been on retreat with Nithya as well, and you're magic, Nithya.
So, Bhavna was the most naughty person at retreat, but somehow the retreat happened.
I'm the person who has to make Nithya say, "Oh my God, Bhavna."
This is the problem when you have Shiv Khera's daughter on your retreat. Problem with it.
Thanks, Nithya. Thanks a lot.
How do we know our level? You know your level because two ways to know your level. When unwanted things happen in your life, and when wanted things don't happen in your life, what is your typical reaction? Do you go to victim mode? Do you quickly gather yourself and say, okay, but what's the possibility here? Or do you come to channel mode and say, okay, I surrender. I don't have the answer here. I don't know why this is happening, but something good will come out of this. You come to a sense of surrender and trust. Or do you come to a sense of this is exactly what needed to happen right now? It actually tickles you and say, bring it on. Like this is beautiful. This is great. This is exactly what I needed right now. So depending on how you respond, typically when unwanted things happen and wanted things don't happen, that tends to determine your level. And it doesn't mean you'll never feel like a victim and you'll never feel like any of that. You will feel all of it. The question is where do you hang out the most? That's the main thing. So you hang out. You want to just check where do you in an average day. In the day we will oscillate between the four, but where do you hang out most? That's the answer to what your level is, and that can change rather quickly. So you shouldn't feel victimized by that either.
Nithya, Namita is asking, how do you change your level?
You change your level at each level. First of all, the next level is not somewhere out there. The next level is actually in here. So you change your level by being grateful for that level. Thank you, fault-finding mind. You have served me. In your own way, you have served me, protected me. And now, I thank this fault-finding mind. Thank you, inner critic. But now I want to promote you to an inner coach. Thank you, inner demon, or whatever it is, of lust, or of craving, or of jealousy. And now I want to promote you to your next level, right? So instead of fighting and killing your inner demons, which is the militant way of looking at spiritual growth, have a lotus-like way of looking at it, that within this is the next level. So how do you change your next level? The simple answer is awareness and love. Be aware of it and love it to death. Be grateful to it for death, to death, to death. And death is not to kill it, but death is to transform it. That's the transformation. Shiva is not to destroy. Shiva's purpose is to transform. So you are aware of your current level and you embrace it, love it, see through it. And the next level comes. Layer by layer, the next petals open up. And that's how each layer will reveal the next layer.
Nithya, I want to ask you a question from my side. How do I practice complete acceptance, the as is state, rather than being judgmental or rejecting it, or not because I don't like it? Like, how do I make peace with that, personally?
Let me tell you a little story which might help. I was practicing in Thailand as a monk, and we were doing a practice called loving kindness meditation, where we radiate loving kindness to everybody. And I was feeling very stuck, and I was just feeling that no loving kindness is coming, just a sense of staleness is coming, and I was feeling dull and stale. And I struggled with my practice that day. And that evening I was listening to a talk, and it happens sometimes that you have a deep question and the answer comes in a very beautiful way. So my teacher spoke exactly about this. And he said, when you are trying to generate loving kindness and it's not happening, then that is the moment to love your inability to love. I found that so powerful. That is the time to forgive yourself for being unable to forgive. So you have to meet yourself where you are. You have to fold back. Whatever your practice is, fold it back onto itself, right? So you surrender your inability to surrender. You trust your inability to trust. You're clear about the fact that you doubt. Like that. This is fascinating. So there's no mistake. I want to say, Byron Katie, one of my teachers, when she heard the word namaste, her American brain couldn't understand namaste. She heard no mistake. Oh, no mistake. Come on in. No. So everybody came to namaste, like namaste. No mistake. Come on in. And I love that. Namaste means no mistake. So whenever these things show up, they're saying no mistake, no mistake, yeah, no mistake. And if you want a very powerful reminder, read the poem The Guest House by Rumi. Read it every day. The Guest House by Rumi. Powerful poem. This being human is a guest house. Every day a new arrival. Some joy, some meanness, some momentary awareness comes as a visitor. Treat them all as revered guests. Beautiful poem. Check it out on YouTube or on just Google it. The Guest House by Rumi. It's available. Well, and that's how you practice acceptance. You accept, like you said the word, how can I have complete acceptance? As though there is such a thing as complete acceptance. These are all mind-made things, complete acceptance. Why don't you accept your current level of acceptance? What made you decide it is wrong? And it is okay. You have this level of acceptance. Let the Dalai Lama have his level. Let me have my level. You have your level of acceptance. You love your level of acceptance. This whole comparison thing is not required.
Thank you,
So
Nithya.
that's the way you do it.
Thanks a lot. Shivani is asking, when you are at life as me level, is that a passive or active energy?
It is both. It is both. It transcends passive and active. It is Ardhanareshwara. It is Shiva and Shakti in ecstatic flow. So it is consciousness and energy simultaneously. It's like saying the mirror, is it still or is it dynamic? Well, the mirror itself is stick, but it's still, but what's happening in the mirror is dynamic. The people coming in front of it and adjusting their clothes, that's all dynamic. So now, is the mirror still or is it dynamic? It is both still and dynamic. So this is where you actually transcend the polarities. So, which is why it's hard to define and describe these things, because it goes beyond the way our logical mind thinks. How can something be square and round at the same time? You know, and it kind of confounds us. How is it possible? But it's like that. It's like it is water tasting itself. It's like your thumb knowing itself. So it's language is always based on subject object, but this is a stage beyond subject object. So your normal language is going to fail you.
Thank you, Nithya. Nandini is asking, is it weird if you are calm, even if heaven is falling around you?
If heaven is falling around, then so you should be ecstatic. Heaven, like, I mean, I think you're saying like, if like the sky is falling, that kind of thing, right? Is it weird if you're calm, even if the heavens are falling around?
Yeah.
It's not weird for you, it seems. Maybe weird for us. What I like to say is, if it's happening to you, it's not weird. That's your normal. My normal might be different from your normal. So if it's happening, it just is what it is. It's not the lovely word extraordinary. It's extraordinary. For you, it's ordinary. So, and I think it is a beautiful thing that you're able to touch a certain strength and calmness and stillness. It's the eye of the storm. The eye of the storm is still, even though hurricane force winds are blowing around it. The eye of the storm is still. So the fact that you can touch the eye of the storm and heaven and hell is breaking loose, but inwardly you're completely still. There's a story of the Chinese army marching and routing through Korea, and they were just killing everybody, and entire towns were being ransacked. And after a while, the Chinese army was far too strong. Korean army just kind of accepted defeat. And town after town, they found was abandoned. Everybody had left their homes, gone to the mountains to hide. So they got used to arriving at every town completely abandoned. Ghost town. They come to one town, and somebody comes to the general and says, as usual, everyone is left except one man. One man, who is he? He's the priest of the local temple. Oh, he's a priest. You think I'll spare him because he's a priest? Take me to him. And the general takes out a sword and he points it to this monk and he says, do you know who I am? I can chop off your head. I'll not even blink my eyes. But the general is shocked when the monk says, but do you know who I am? The general is like, who are you? He says, I'll have my head chopped off. I'll not even blink my eyes.
Wow.
And the general realized, you see, in the face of death, when you can say some certain death, you can say something like that. That shows very high level of attainment. So the general realized he's in the presence of greatness. He put his sword away. He bowed down and said, no one touch this man. Let him be. Leave him alone. So this is the thing, you see, when you radically embrace all of it, bring it on. Come and get me. Milarepa was a great Tibetan master. He had these 3 demons who appeared in front of his cave. But Milarepa was a great yogi. So he threw fire at them, and he threw ice at them, and he threw hail at them, and he made rain on them. But nothing would happen. Thunderbolts would fall on the demon. The demons kept getting bigger and bigger. And then Milarepa realized, oh, these are demons of resistance. The more I resist them, the more powerful they get. So Milarepa lies down on the ground and says, come eat me. You want to eat me? Come eat me. And the 3 demons come charging, and they pounce at him. He says, come eat me. And before they can touch his skin, they evaporate, they vanish. And these stories have deep metaphorical meaning, that what you're resisting so adamantly, if you just relax a bit, you say, bring it on, come, what's going to happen? Then that's how you find the calm, even when heaven and hell is breaking all around you. It's a different level of consciousness. At each level of consciousness, the physics changes, the way of looking at the world changes, the possibilities change. So the main thing I can share with you for accessing inner strength is raise your consciousness.
That's brilliant, Nithya. Thank you. Very quickly, we'll just take 1 or 2 more. From Namita, do you have something for kids? In today's world of social media, seems like they live in level 1 all the time and they're getting affected by everything around them, what they see on their screens. Any thoughts for Namita, really quickly?
instead of having something from kids, I like to learn from kids. Kids are closer to source than we are. And let's not try to educate them. We've messed up the world enough with our education. And I would not go with this assumption that they're at level 1. Let's not judge other people's levels. We have no clue what their level is. The best thing parents can do for kids is to raise their own level of consciousness and see the kids also as inherently wise. Just because they're younger than you does not mean that they're less wise than you. Sometimes people compliment me, Nithya, you're so young, you learned all of this. I said, no, I was lazy in my last life. People who are lazy in their last life, they end up being very wise at a young age. So you have no idea what level your kids are at and what's going on with them. Your job as parents, you have 3 responsibilities. Number 1, accept your kids exactly the way they are. They're not here to match your academic standard. They're not here to be social like you, whatever that you have. No, they're here to be themselves. You accept them the way they are, not the way you are. Number 2, see in them a genius that even they may not recognize in themselves. You say, my child has got a genius. If you just believe this, Rose Kennedy would tell her children every day, all of you will be world leaders. And of her 8 children, 4 or 5 of them actually were world leaders. If you tell your kids at breakfast every day, behave yourself, you'll be world leaders one day. They actually went on to be world leaders. Of course, many of them got assassinated, so I don't recommend that. But more important, so you see a genius in your kids, and doesn't matter what the teachers say. Doesn't matter. See, what are these teachers? The best minds do not go to the education profession. It's the ones who fail everything else to go to the education profession. I'm not going to believe a thing that a teacher says about a child, right? The child, your job as a parent is to see inherent genius in your child. And if you don't see it yet, then that should be your number 1 endeavor. What is the genius of my child? Let me help them find their genius. So number 1, you accept your child exactly the way they are. Number 2, you see in them a genius that even they may not see in themselves. And number 3, most importantly, never, never, never give up. No matter how much they prove you otherwise, you'll never give up. If you do these 3 things, you have fulfilled your dharma as a parent, also as a leader, also as a teacher, also as anything. Because the moment, like even in this group, I've got to accept you exactly the way you are. I've got to see in you a greater potential than even you may see in yourself. And no matter what questions you ask, no matter what you say, I'm going to never, never, never give up. To the extent I do those 3 things, I'm a fantastic spiritual teacher. You'll never get a better spiritual teacher than me. But to the extent I compromise even one of those 3, I don't accept you the way you are. I see you as silly and asking silly questions, and I give up on you very quickly. Then I'm just another run-of-the-mill person. I can't have much effect on you. We grow maximum on the border of support and challenge. So our job as parents is to support them and challenge them. And like the Kumar who makes a pot, 1 hand inside, 1 hand outside. Inner hand supports, outer hand challenges. And they make a beautiful pot. So as some parents naturally are good at complimenting, appreciating, they have to learn to challenge. Some parents are naturally good at finding fault. In the whole report card, they'll find the one subject with the lowest marks came. What happened here? They've got to learn to appreciate and encourage. And both of these parents have to learn to never, never, never give up. Your children are not just your children. They are here with a larger purpose. They're here as secret agents of life and God, and hopefully to correct all the mistakes you and I have made. It would be very silly of me to assume to know what to tell these children. We should actually listen to them. In our government, we should create places for children, because the grown-ups have totally lost the plot, and they're cutting all the forests and destroying all the rivers and lakes. If children were to become government officials, I see no reason why they have to wait till 18. They can. I think youngsters should be in government and should be helping us envision what kind of future we need. So I would not assume to know what to tell the kids.
Wonderful. We have 2 more questions, Nithya. How do we avoid fear, from Vinita?
Why do you want to avoid fear? Why do you want to avoid anything? Bring it on. Bring it on. False evidence appearing real. Fear is false evidence appearing real. There's nothing to be afraid of except your own imagination. There's a story, there's a book called The Course in Miracles, and this person has been studying it for years. The whole point of The Course in Miracles is to transmute the fear into love. Wherever there's fear, to convert it into love. And someone broke into his house. A robber broke into his house. And he's, of course, startled. And the robber realized, oh, there's somebody in the house. He's about to run out. He says, stop. Now that you're here, have a cup of tea. He's shocked. Who invites a robber for a cup of tea? He's a little suspicious. But he really means that, come have a cup of tea. It's cool. Don't worry. And they have a cup of tea. And he says, what made you do this? He says, I lost my job 3 months back. Then my girlfriend dumped me 2 months back. And I was just so low. I just needed to get some money. And so you see, when you understand the deeper story of someone, you can't fear them anymore. You understand where they're coming from. And so he promises him that he will help him find a job if he can, through his friends. And what in that situation, most of us would have either panicked, or we would have frozen, or we would have thrown something, or we would have called the police, or we would have gone crazy. Out of the 10,000 possibilities, there was one possibility of responding with love. And he chose that possibility, but it was not an accident. He had spent years studying A Course in Miracles. So if you want to respond if you want to convert your fear into love, don't wait for the big fearful moments. Every day, have a direct confront with fear. Do something, like for example, being vulnerable, me sharing about myself more than I need to. If it's appropriate if I can reveal some aspect of my own struggles, if I can do that, that also takes courage. That has the potential of damaging my reputation as an awesome spiritual teacher, but it's all right. Because while my divinity can attract you, it's the humanity that makes it accessible. If I keep on showing my light, but never showing the dark side, then how will we ever grow, right? So every day to have a small confront with fear. And see this fun, there's a nice YouTube video by Will Smith talking about his experience skydiving. You really should watch that. It is so brilliant. And the summary of that talk is, he says, God put the best things in life on the other side of terror. So the best things in life on the other side of terror. Joseph Campbell said, the treasure you're looking for is in the cave you're afraid to enter. So fear is fantastic. Say, bring it on.
Bring it on.
And it's going to make you stronger.
Thank you. And I think our last question for the evening is from Tanuja. Is it easy to get boastful and complacent if we reach higher levels? And does that defeat the very purpose?
Is it easy to get boastful and complacent? Yeah, you're right. Now, after you transcend your ego, welcome to spiritual ego,
Yeah.
which is the far more stubborn ego, right? So it's true. It can happen and you can get complacent. But, life is going to poke you. You cannot be there. Nowhere will you, everywhere, life is not interested in your comfort. Life is interested in your growth. So even your boastfulness and complacency is going to get nicely ironed out. Abrasion. We have sawdust. Not sawdust. What's it called? What's that paper called? Sandpaper. Yeah, sandpaper.
Paper. Yeah.
So sandpaper is going to be working on you wherever you go. So ultimately, you can't fool yourself beyond a point. You can fool yourself for a little while. You can't fool yourself for too long. It's going to eventually get equilibrated. Life is not vindictive; it's corrective. So don't worry about it too much. At every point, you will have new shadows. And every time, just when you thought, there's a nice saying, just when you figured out the universe, it'll reorganize itself.
And you're back to scratch, ground zero again. To live it all over again, Nithya. Oh. Nithya, thank you so much. What an absolute joy. And it's just, you're just magic, Nithya. Your presence is magic.
Thank you, dear.
I'm grateful. So grateful.
Beautiful. Thank you, everybody. And big hug to everyone whose question was not answered, because you have the answer in yourself. And if you didn't like my answer, that's even better. Then you should rely on your own wisdom. Don't rely on arbitrary people like me. And especially not people like Bhavna. Bhavna and me should not be trusted. Especially Bhavna should not be trusted.
Nithya, everyone, thank you so much. Nithya, thank you so much. For a dear friend, and thank you for your presence.
Take care.
Thanks a lot. Thank you everyone for
joining us today, and we will be joining
Monday to Friday. Our series closes on the 28th of May. So please do join us for another 2 weeks, Monday to Friday. Thank you so much. We'll see you Monday, 5:30 p.m.